All right, guys, we're talking about earthquakes today. Again, we're going to be talking about we want our definition, we want the cause, and we want a rating system for the catastrophic event. And then lastly, we want the effects on the ecosystem. So earthquakes, what are they? The number one thing they're going to be, the definition for earthquakes is going to be the ground violently shaking. Okay, the ground violently shaking. And this is going to be number two, caused by plate tectonic movement along faults. So faults is just in between these plates that shift around and control where all the land is on the planet. And so what happens is these plates are moving, and when they collide, okay, along faults, they're going to chip away at each other. They're going to collide, and they're going to create shaking of the ground and everything on top of it. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the next slide. So that's going to be our definition, and that's also going to be our cause. Let's go to the scale. All right, and so the scale, and then we also have effects. So the scale is going to be the Richter scale. All right, and that's going to kind of show you the strength of earthquakes. Anything 9 or over, or close to 10, is going to be very, very, very destructive. Whereas 0 to 1.9, you're not going to even be able to tell without a seismograph, which is going to be detecting seismic activity or the ground. You can't tell that an earthquake's even happening. Okay, 2 to 2.9, there's quite a few of these earthquakes. Okay, but just hanging objects may swing. There's not a lot of change, but then you get to some heavier earthquakes, some more damaging ones. All right, in the form of our 4s, our 5s, and all the way up to our 6s, 7s, and 8s. Okay, and they get much, much, much more damaging. And why is this an issue? Well, here's our effects. Okay, so this is number 3. And then number 4 thing you need to take away is going to be sudden shift in landscape. Okay, so the ecosystem is immediately going to be changed that way. It can create gas lines breaking or causing fires. Okay, this is a problem mainly for city ecosystems. And then buildings, obviously infrastructure falling. Underwater earthquakes can lead to massive waves called tsunamis, which we're going to talk about next. And then lastly, just make sure that you remember that it's part of the Richter scale. So let's go talk about tsunamis. All right, so tsunamis is going to be a very quick one. We don't have a scale for this one, so we just need to figure out the definition, how it's caused, and what are the effects. All right, so for tsunamis, we're talking about a massive wave. Okay, we're talking about a massive wave. It's caused by an earthquake in the ocean. And so an underwater earthquake causes a shift or disbursement of the water. And so the water has to go somewhere, and it creates a massive, massive wave that can cause a lot of damage, a lot of damage. So here we go. Let's look at that damage. So tsunami, the effects. So we know a tsunami is caused by an underwater earthquake. It is, by definition, a large wave. And it can move very, very quickly. But we also have the effects of this tsunami. And so saltwater flooding is going to be one of the main issues with tsunamis, is because you're taking a ton of salt water and you're throwing it onto land. And plants that are on land don't normally like having salt water rather than fresh water. Okay, you're going to see a change in landscape because of all the destruction that happens because of this massive wave. And so again, you're going to see resources being lowered, and therefore the population is going to decrease as well. Hey guys, I'm just going to talk about our last catastrophic event, volcanoes, really quickly. Volcanoes are going to be mountain or hill looking type things that are going to come out of the ground, and they're going to be spots in which there's going to be a chamber of lava that is going to release molten liquid rock that we call lava into onto the surface of the earth. This does a number of things, but it creates new crust. It creates new land on the planet. It can create islands. It creates new ocean crust, new terrestrial crust, it does a lot of different things. These eruptions can be very, very explosive, or they can be very slow and subtle. Either lava is rushing out very, very quickly and there's not a lot of warning before it happens, or they go very, very slowly and spread out very, very slowly. Regardless, this lava that we are talking about is super, super, super hot and will destroy pretty much everything in its path, basically setting whatever ecosystem that it winds up affecting, changing it completely, okay, destroying everything and setting it back to square one. Some volcanoes are large enough to create and send a ton of volcanic ash into the air, which blocks out sunlight. And as you guys already know, without sunlight, the amount of resources that are available for us drop, and that means the populations drop as well. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's been fun making these videos, and especially working with you guys throughout this time. You guys are doing great. I'll see you later. Peace.